Hello and welcome to the iRacing Le Mans Series live on Apex Racing TV. I'm Fitzpatrick and alongside me is Ryan Walker with Samuli Kumo on the cameras this evening. We are here at Watkins Glen, one of the most loved circuits I think around the world, Ryan. Very few people dislike this place. Do you know a few? But they're in the minority. It's just got a great flow, this circuit, elevation change, fast straights, fast corners, some slow corners as well, some tricky elements, and it's quite narrow as well. It should be great fun, and it is just an awesome driver's circuit. Well, that's a great start to the book. I seem to have lost Ryan temporarily, but yeah, just got a couple more minutes of qualifying to go, and then we will be stuck into the race. And in the LMP1 class currently, in the standings is Julian Groenen leading the way with Matt Farrow in second place. Michael Mittner is in third, and then we've got Albert and Yakubu rounding out the top five. We're all still very close there, so it could still change. And in the P2 standings, Johan Hart looking as though might be able to take back-to-back titles after taking Season 3. Pascal Stix still hot on his heels in second place, and he also has one less week counted, so you do not rule him out. And then behind that we've got Neil Andrews, Julian Boutz and Carla Bartz, who've been a brilliant season in that HBD field this season. And then in the GTEs, Dennis Kobrowski currently leading the way, again very close, only just ahead of Barry Marston, and it's Jorge Blasco-Vals who's just been extremely consistent, I think, to get himself up into the top three. Then it's Florian Diener and Tim Grieven rounding out the top five. Got Antoine Cousin just completing his lap now in the Team Bushfink car, I believe that is. That might be completely wrong, actually. But anyway, let's see if he can improve his time. This is his second time lap. Currently in sixth place with a 26.000, and unfortunately he cannot improve. Ryan Walker, are you back with us? It seems as though Ryan has disconnected. We did have some issues with his connection the other day, but we will soldier on and hope that he can get back to us later on. With just 20 seconds more in this session to go. Of course, using the chicane today, using the modern boot layout rather than the classic boot, which could make a little bit of an impact on the racing. Extremely narrow going into that chicane, so now going through as well. This circuit is certainly one where there could be plenty of incidents potentially. But hopefully, with the quality of driving we've seen so far this season, we will not see any of that today. And now, I think we can take you through the grid. Week 11 of the series, penultimate round of the season. And, well, that just makes everything that much more important. It's Paddy Wolf. We've gone through this already. This is Patrick Wolf. Do not be fooled. Or by that pace, it can only be Patrick Wolf. He's on pole position by 0.7 of a second over Juliet Pre-Albert. It's very high up in the LMP1 standings. Behind that is Julien Ribeault. Very good qualifying for Ribeault. Well done to him in third. Nathan Lewis. It's Sylvain Moraine and Antoine Cousin rounding out the top six. Also got Joseph Ringrose, our colleague here at Apex Racing TV, up in ninth. He's done very well there. We'll certainly be keeping an eye out for him. In the LMP2's championship leader, Johan Hart. Very strong for him on pole position. Antonio Bosco gets ahead of Carla Bartz onto the front row. Then it's Carlos Alvarez Benidi and Robin Bonden rounding out the top five in that class. And then in the GTEs, Kei Kashube. Great to see so many top drivers, so many World Championship drivers in this race today. Kei Kashube on pole position out of them. Then it's Dominic Stabe in second, Thibaut Cazorban in third, Thomas Gibson in fourth, and Antti Terho starts in fifth position. Also got Gianni Vecchio, Giannis Jordakis in that class as well. Also Jack Sedgwick, BSR regular. It's a little bit further down the field, but of course he's Absolutely one of the fastest drivers we ever see on Apex Racing TV. So keep an eye out for him. I think we are going to get the formation lap underway. Unfortunately, it's a full formation lap. It's very disappointing. But there you go. Could just start down the back straight, couldn't they? But no, they decided to do the entire formation lap as the Porsche car pulls away from the start. And yeah, just builds up the tension for what is going to be an hour-long race. Of course, like I said earlier, the penultimate round of the championship. So important for these drivers to get a good result. And yeah, for the all 3 championships are still very much open, difficult to call either way. And also, of course, we've got a few extra drivers as well today who maybe aren't in the championship, but of course very high I-rated drivers. I'm thinking of some of the top guys in the GTEs who've pretty much got nothing to lose apart from a whole heap of I-rating from their perspective. They'll be desperate to yeah, to maybe play a part in the championship. Could be very problematic. A little bit slow away a few of the GTEs. You can see them already going single file, but Keiko Shube, he's already won a couple. In fact, I'm not sure if he has won any rounds this season. We saw Mac Backham taking a superb win at Circuit of the Americas 1 week ago. And well, Kashibe will try to be bouncing back, but he's always been near the front of the field, and it is fantastic to see him around. Of course, Dominic stayed alongside him. 3 tenths between them, or sorry, 2 tenths between them in qualifying. So it'll be interesting to see if Kashibe has some kind of advantage over his rival later on. And of course, in this LMP1 field, as I said earlier on, Paddy Wolf, it's not Paddy Wolf. I think that's Patrick's dad or something, I'm not quite sure. It's another account. Clearly can't use Patrick Wolf today. But he is at the front of the field regardless. And, well, despite him seemingly being the fastest driver this season, has had a few issues, also in the traffic as well as Patrick. So he's only won, I say only won, I think 4 or 5 rounds so far this season. We saw a fantastic Circuit of the Americas, basically. And I think Ryan Walker is
I'm back. Sorry about
with
that.
us. Fantastic. I don't think you're in the session, are you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm just joining the session now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can blame Windows updates for it.
Well, it's great to have you back. And well, we are about to get underway here at Watkins Glen. Just got a couple more corners to round for these guys, and then Patrick Wolf will be able to get away from the line. Also, by the way, thanks for everyone. 6 likes already, and we haven't even started racing. Clearly, qualifying was absolutely spectacular. That's the only answer I can give to that. Anyway, 1 more corner to go, and Patrick Wolf will be underway for Twice A Sports, is what I've got. I don't think that is the right team, but anyway. Down to the final corner. When will he floor it? The pace car will come into the pits. And Patrick Wolf, penultimate round of the series, and away we go here at Watkins Glen. And some fantastic start actually for Ribolo, I think, just maybe moving ahead of Albert, who has not got a superb start. And actually, yeah, Ribolo didn't get an awesome start either, so I think it's pretty much stay put in the LMP2. Johan Hart, very good start for him ahead of Ansi Lavoska and Carlo Labate. Again, very much status quo in that class once again, and in the GTEs. Keiko Shube getting away very well. You can see the gap he's already got. You don't want to give him any more than he absolutely needs, Keiko Shube, because he could potentially run away with this one. So he does it with the opposition of Giles as they go up the hill. This is where issues can occur. We've seen it so many times on Apex Racing TV, and well, potential for pile-ups here, but fortunately they've managed to make their way through the field very calmly so far. We've got Gibson really under pressure. I believe that's from Shordakis, I'm not quite sure. Vecchio right on the tail. It's so difficult to overtake through this opening, through that chicane. And well, they all stay put for now. Could be a difficult race to actually overtake for many of these guys. Not a super long straight, and making a move into that chicane can be very difficult. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, I'm just looking through the field to see if there's any issues or anything major happened on the first lap. And yeah, as you say, Sam, it looks like everyone's made it through the lap one so far unscathed.
Yes, very fortunate that. Very good quality of drivers, of course. Patrick just pulling away a little bit. Hasn't got off a superb gap over Alba, although actually you can see maybe deploying a little bit more energy down this straight because he wants to attack whilst he still can. Otherwise, Patrick could be off into the distance very quickly. We can see how the field is already spread out near the front. It's quite a pack of cars just behind still, all fighting amongst each other. Oh, and a car on the circuit, and there could be big contact there. There is big contact. It's Michel de Jong.
Michel de Jong.
And another driver as well, Matthew Murphy.
Yeah, just excuse me.
Oh, just lost the car, didn't Michel? And came across. Tried to get onto the brakes to be fair to him, but if anything, that may have not been the right thing to do because it just left no real room for his rival, and contact between the two of them. Murphy with significant damage now.
Yeah, I was just looking at the replay of Michel and just to see what happened, and yeah, it just looks like he slightly run wide in the final few corners, and ended up having contact with another car, and after that it was just a journey into the wall.
Yeah, really had no control once he gets onto those bumps. It causes a lot of damage just hitting those bumps. Let alone having the instant afterwards. Matthew Murphy. Feel so sorry for him. Had absolutely no chance in that situation. Well, that could be the end of his day. Hopefully we'll see him out on circuit later on. Should check in on the other classes, of course. In the LMP2s, Johan Hart still leading the way by about 1.3 seconds over Anthony Labosco. He's under pressure from Carlo Labate, and Robin Bonden still staying relatively close. Also got Benedict and Braun just behind, very close to one another.
Yep, I'm just looking through at the P2 field as well. Yeah, current leader in P2 at the moment as it stands is Johan Harf, but not far behind is Ante Labosco, and yeah, sitting pretty in third place is Carlo Labate.
Yeah, we maybe see those three maybe pulling away. Hopefully we'll get a good old battle, but Johan Hart in recent weeks in particular has been absolutely superb. No doubt driving better than he did last season. That's when he won the title by quite a comfortable margin, so really has elevated his level to a very good driver. Of course, yeah, one of the best rallycross drivers in the world as well on iRacing, so extremely accomplished. Very much come used to these performances of his.
Yep, also looking at the GT field as well. Yeah, currently leading in GT is Kei Kishube, followed by Fiabort Kazubon, and yeah, third place at the moment is Ante Terho. So yeah, it's still close in the GT class as it always is in this series, and I think we at the moment, or this evening, we could be in for another great race.
Yeah, certainly hope so. I think I've already said this, but I did beat Kazorbon in a street stocks race, a rally street stocks race. Sorry, a rookie street stocks race. That's what I meant. I'm not going to let that go. I am going to mention that every time he's in a race because it makes me a better driver than I am, because he's currently driving extremely well. Got ahead of Antti Terho earlier on in the race, and very much keeping the leader honest. Slipstream affects a little bit of a factor, I guess, here, Ryan, with that next straight that we're about to come on to, but it's not like a Monza or anything like that. It's a helping effect. It can keep you close, but you also need to, if you're more than a quarter of a second faster, it's very difficult to keep up.
Yeah, I think around the track such as Watkins Glen with the long straights as well, I think it'll make these cars, especially the GT cars, a lot closer this evening because of the long straights, and also basically everyone's stuck in a slipstream, so it makes it closer. So I think tonight it'll be hard to, in a way, I guess it'll be hard to predict a winner in this class. But I think around here, I think it'll be down to strategy and whoever decides to put early or decides to put late.
Yeah, could be absolutely crucial, particularly in this GTE class. We could have a move on here, not quite. Can go for a bit of a sneak move. That is the toe, I believe. Yeah, that is the toe, because it looks like a foot, if no one had already noticed. Considering that it's called the boot, I think it's quite self-explanatory. But Haley's currently under big pressure from Stabe, who got quite a poor start, actually. I'm not quite sure what happened to Stabe earlier on, as we see the LMP1s already making their way through the field. Quite a short circuit, and see them see this multi-class effect plenty today. That's Patrick Wolf just about nipping through. Can't get all of them. Next up is Haley, and well, that's a very simple move around the outside.
Yeah, all it's easy is Mr. Wolf was making it a bit easy getting through the traffic there. It's just yeah, it's just it looked like a natural at work.
Absolutely, he's very much at home in these cars by now. I'd hope he would be, because been absolutely superb all season. Done the majority of the rounds, which we are very thankful of at Apex Racing TV. And we've got 3 wide, I believe, here. It's Nigel and Oliveras. That was an LMP1, so just going past the pair of them. And in the end, Nigel just about got ahead. 3 positions from his start.
Yeah, just look at the traffic as we go through the chicane. That's absolutely bonkers. That was like a long line of GT cars and some LMP1 car in the grass.
Not quite sure who that was. I think it may have been Moraine. I'm not quite sure. Ringrose. Look at this. It's absolute carnage.
Absolute mayhem.
Well, let's see if Worcester can get through. Deploy the boost. All the boost. Leave no boost left. And he nearly actually gets an overtake on Moraine from all of that, because yeah, it's absolutely desperate to get us past as many cars as possible down that straight. This is where you don't want to catch the traffic, and a little bit of a late move there from Moraine, completely fair. And Worcester trying to go down the inside, had to back out of it ever so slightly, and eventually got through. Now losing a little bit of time is Worcester, staying behind a couple of GTEs. He goes to the outside. Can he find the inside for this next one? Oh, he has to go around the outside, and eventually does get a little bit of clear space for now. Now next up, the Porsche. Can he go in by turn 1? It's got to be so intense around this circuit, and he does just about make it.
Yeah, as I wanted to say, I guess it'll be pretty... Oh, just watching Sylvain and Moraine trying to get by a Ford GT in the middle of through the fast S's as a Pete.
Nicely done from Worcester. Held back, and then he went for the move, and he's up a position into 7th. And well, that was just perfect traffic play. He stayed behind, got a clean run up the hill, and could pull off the move on his opponent.
Yeah, I have to say that was a very nice move by Woodstraw. He managed to. He seen that Moraine was getting held up by GT traffic through the fast S's and got held up a little bit. And yeah, that gave Woodstraw an invitation to try a move, and luckily he managed to get the move done heading up to the chicane, and that was nicely done.
Patrick Wolf, by the way, pulling away in this field. He's 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the drivers, and you can see a nice bit of clear as well, until of course he catches up to the LMP2s, not too far away them, and there's Albert, Ribble and Kuzan, all of them very much spread out currently. So that LMP1 field very much spread about, but in the HPDs it's still quite close. Johan Ha just edging out that gap, up to 2 seconds now. He's 1/10 faster on that last lap than Antti Lavoska. Tyler Barty staying pretty close to them at the moment. And also got Robin Bonden still 2 seconds back, as we've got an LMP1 off the track, and that is Nathan Lewis.
Yeah, just looking at the replay to see what happened there with Lewis. I think he just tried to carry maybe just too much speed into the corridor, or maybe just got caught out by one of the HPDs and just ended up running wide, just so he didn't run into the back of him. But yeah, Harper's doing a good job at the moment. He's managed to build a bit of a gap at the moment, and yeah, good job so far by Johan.
And in the GT, he's just pulling away a little bit now as Kei Kashube. Maybe benefiting slightly from that traffic. He's got a slight gap over Thibaut Kazorbon. 1.5 seconds between the pair there, and then Thomas Gibson a further 1.7 seconds back, and then we've got this little bit of I wouldn't say it's a chain, but it's a pack. Gibson, Vecchio, Terho, Shodakis, and yeah, that's the pack. And then behind that is Cruz and Haley, with Stabe still having a struggling day, falling down, I think, 7 places from his start. He is now into 9th, I believe.
Yep, I'm just looking through the field at the moment to see if anything's happening. In the GT class, still it's current leader is still Kei Kashube, followed by not far behind is Fiabort Kazubon, and yeah, third position is Thomas Gibson now, and just behind him is Gianni Vecchio. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yeah, I go Vecchio. Let us know on the YouTube chat how to pronounce it. I say it's Vecchio. It might be Vecchio. I'm not quite sure. And that is why we have some 72 people watching. And thank you for watching this broadcast. And thanks for giving us 12 likes already. But yeah, please let your voices be heard and tell us how to pronounce Gianni Vecchio. Anyway, he's going past his rival currently, but he's on the outside. That's not the line that you want. He almost tried it, but it was certainly the better option just to back out. And now he's under pressure from the attack to the defense. He's right, Anti-Terho is right on his tail. Vecchio started behind Terho, got ahead of him, I think, in the first couple of laps. But for now, he is staying just ahead.
Yeah, it was yeah, I'm trying to see who that was that made the move on Gianni. I think it was Thomas Gibson that made the move, or yeah, I think he was defending. I just looked back, so I never seen what was going on. But yeah, the GT class proving once again that why it's one of the most popular classes with such great racing and close racing like we've got at the moment.
Yeah, you can always guarantee we're going to get a great GTE race. Maybe not necessarily for the lead. I'd say we've had better maybe lead battles else in other classes, but you're always going to have a pack like this with maybe a driver struggling a little bit more in the race than they did in qualifying. But it's so difficult to overtake in these cars. The turbulent air, a small effect, but it's mainly just the fact that the slipstream effect isn't that strong. And right now they're all struggling to overtake one another, all got the slipstream from one another. And also the fact that we've got Vecchio in a Ferrari, maybe not the fastest car in a straight line, struggling to attack the other Fords. Jodakis gets in closer and closer to Terho now, down to 0.3 of a second. Does he run a little bit less rear wing? Perhaps he's pulling out, but of course he's absolutely nowhere near making a move. And yeah, just having to stay behind, currently in 5th place. 6th place.
Can't wait in the exit of the chicane.
Thomas Gibson, and he's all the way round, and that's going to be a killer for his race. Right to the rear of the field.
Yeah, I just looked back up at the front, towards the front of the GT field as they went through the chicane, and I just seen Gibson going. Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay now to see what happened, and it looks like. Seems to get the entry of the chicane right, and then it just seems, he just loses it in the middle of the chicane and has to run wide and just went over the bump and got launched.
Well, that's going to be a lot of damage to that car as well, although that's probably not what he's concerned about right now, because he's lost about half a minute, I think, in that, because yeah, there's the drivers who he was fighting on about 30 seconds up the road. Terrible for Thomas Gibson. It's like difficult, that chicane, to nail every single lap with the curbs and carrying the right amount of speed in. And after really running well in 3rd place, he's fallen way back now.
Yep, yeah, Thomas has got it all to do now. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's any other battles going on at the moment in the GT class. I think the closest battle still in GT at the moment is well, I was about to say between Kei Kashube and Kasubon, but Kasubi's managed to build up a bit of a gap at the moment and is slowly pulling away from Kasubon.
Yeah, it's just edging out, isn't it? 0.3 on that last lap, which is larger pace difference than there usually is. And, well, yeah, maybe just that small advantage for Kashibe. And, well, Kazorban, I'm sure, is playing its absolute all. Just needs to get a little bit lucky, maybe, does Kazorban. Maybe hope that an MP1 understeers into Kashibe. That's probably going to be his best hope today, as we've got all three classes now in the same small straight. You can see how around these long corners the HPDs can go all the way around the outside. That's Cyril Rodriguez just gets him overtaken. He's in a fierce battle with Bradley Haley, Moreno Sirica, and Jack Cedric currently.
Yep, just looking at P1, he's back up at the P1 class as well to see if anything's happening. Rather, I can't really find any battles at the moment. I think yeah, Paddy Wolf is just in a land of his own at the moment. I think the closest battle I can find in P1 at the moment is kind of between Sylvain Morin and Joseph Ringrose.
Yeah, they're very close currently. Whereabouts are they? Yeah, within a couple of seconds of each other. Kuzan and Yusabi as well. That's all for 4th position. They are getting quite detached from the top 3. Gap between the two leaders, by the way, staying at about 6 seconds. So Albert's not losing really any more time. But this is the one to watch right now. Kuzan versus Yusabi. And of course, just needs to get a little bit lucky. Oh, there's a big crash at the bottom of the hill. Hopefully they're going to escape. Oh, we're going to have more cars involved as well. Kuzan all over the place. And he really needs to get escape because there could be more trouble here. Yes, he has finally got back to the pits. And, well, who was that getting involved with the contacts? I'm not quite sure. But here was the incident. Tried to go down the inside, made contact with the GTE.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking at the replay myself as well now, and yeah, I think I don't think you can blame anyone for that. I think it's just one of those, just because. I just see that. There's a P1 car just came ploughing in as well, as you said. Yeah, I think it was just a racing incident, just because of the speed difference. Kuzan just got caught out by the speed difference, I think, and the GTE car just. As it has every right to do, was taking its racing line.
I think it was it Woodster getting involved in that one? Not quite sure. Well, I'm sure whoever it was will be dropping down the field very soon, because that was a big old impact. And very unfortunate for them, had no chance. But it's just a wonder how that doesn't happen more often. You think that was really, as Ryan said, not really anyone's fault necessarily. Maybe each of them could give them a little bit more space. But, well, that's how you got to drive, really. Go drive very close to your opponents, and eventually that type of thing is going to happen. Hopefully we won't see much more of that today.
Yep, excuse me. I'm just looking at the HPD class again. I think there's an LMP1 car that just came into the pits. I think that is Woodster just came into the pits as well with damage.
Woodster then, yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Woodster and Kuzan's days could be over, or possibly that's their race. Any chance of doing well in this race, well and truly down the pan.
We have been asked on the chat, track temperature. 27 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. What's that? I don't know. Probably 80 Fahrenheit, just below 78. Not quite sure. 25 degrees air temperature as well. Of course, so many cars out there. Wouldn't be surprised if the track temperatures come up slightly. That's a great feature. Of course, we have on iRacing. Came out last season, I think. It was new for this season. And can change by a couple of degrees, which can make a bit of a difference, especially around this type of circuit. Overcast though, of course, we're not getting too hot for these drivers. Should be pretty easy to find the grip out there today.
Yep, I'm trying to see if there's any other battles going on at the moment, and I can't really find anything. It's
we've got Stave versus Cruz. I think that one could be quite interesting, because of course Stave is under out of position. Apologies. after earlier on getting a very poor start, and now he's right on the tail of his Porsche friend on the outside. Not going to go for it though, just backing out before the corner. Realise that going down the outside when you're behind your opponent into that corner, probably not got the best odds for you, but around this part of the circuit, you can, like I said earlier on, go for a slightly brave attempt, slight dive bomb, but we haven't seen that today. Stabe though should have a much should have quite a big pace advantage though on his rival.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't sure if I should do it, but as soon as you said friend, I was tempted to use an in-betweeners line.
Oh dear.
Oh god. Anyway.
I don't know, yeah. Yeah, move on. Yes,
moving on. I'm just looking through the HPD field at the moment. The closest battle in the HPD class at the moment is between Lavoska and Labate, and we all know what Carlo Labate can be like at times from his experience at Le Mans. He was a bit erratic, but since then he seems to have calmed right down with his driving style, and he's not too aggressive like he was before. And yeah, the last time out at the Circuit of the Americas, he had a pretty good race. Yeah,
he really has calmed down recently, as he just disappears from my screen personally. Hopefully he's okay. There he is. So it's just my system, I think. But yeah, he's really closing in on his rival. Second place potentially on the cards. It's a wonder how I don't think he's won a race this season. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure that he hasn't won a race this season. Barely got any podiums, and considering that he's always kind of third or fourth fastest, is a wonder. Today, it's really looking as though he can maybe get a second, because Antti Lavoska is well in his range. You can just see Johan Hart in the great red HBD, not too far ahead either. So you really do need to try to keep him honest. But for now, this battle is for second and third.
Indeed, I believe that was Joseph Ringrose in LMP1 that was just going by to a lap then, I think. So yeah, I think Labate's disappeared on screen for me as well. So maybe connection issues for Carlo.
Well, it's probably not going to be his best chance then to overtake. Tend to want to see the other car when you're overtaking them, but I'm sure he's going to still be able to keep that gap very, very low. But yeah, I think today, Ryan, we've seen overtaking at a premium, I'd say. It's difficult to overtake around this circuit. The longest straight is the one we're currently seeing Antti Lavoska and Carlo Labate drive down, and at that chicane, it's really difficult to overtake.
Yeah, that's chicane. That chicane is, as you say, it's really difficult to overtake in that chicane, because I think ideally, if you want to overtake someone before it, you have to get a really good run, try and get right behind someone and get a really good run in the exit of turn one, and stick with them through the fast S's and try and get a slipstream from them as you head up to the chicane. But it's kind of, you can only really pass there if someone cooperates with you and gives a. It's kind of, if you're alongside someone, it's kind of a give and take situation. Yeah,
absolutely. Forcing your move through that part of the circuit is not easy. We did just see a replay of Gianni Vecchio, unfortunately getting spun around into the wall and seemingly quite terminal damage. So he was running, I think, in about 5th position, having a very good battle out there. Not anymore. He has said something in the text channel. It's in a different language. I don't wish to read it in case it's something absolutely horrendous, he said. But to be fair, from what I saw at least, he seemed to be on the outside. And he just turned into his opponent ever so slightly. But I don't want to receive those German words from him whatsoever. So I'll stay relatively neutral on the matter. Still, this battle between Cruz and Stabe. In fact, Stabe has got ahead, and actually is done very well to get himself back into a decent position. He was down in about 7th place, I think, earlier on. He's up into 5th now, so doing very well. Got ahead of Daniel Cruz. Next up is Shaw Dakis. who's had an awesome race so far. I think Chodakis is up 4 places from his starting position himself, and it's not too far behind Anti-Turho, so it could be a very nice little battle for the final podium spot.
Ooh. Yeah, as I was about to say, there's a LMP1 car just coming up to lap Jordakis. Yeah, luckily Jordakis seen him, or seen it rather. Yeah, it looks like we could be on for a pretty awesome fight here at the moment for a possible fight on the podium. And yeah, it's still close in the GT field, considering these guys have been it's pretty much spread. Oh, it's Jordakis locks up.
That's lost him a little bit of time. We did just get someone on the on the YouTube chat saying "Go Chodakis." Well, don't do that anymore because it doesn't seem to bring him particularly good luck. In fact, actually, I see Omen on the side of this car. Very, yeah. Anyway, Chodakis only 1.8 seconds ahead of Dominic Stabe now. And yeah, being caught currently by his rival, so and losing plenty of time to Anti-Turho. So we need to get back into the groove of things and go hunt after the final driver on the rostrum currently.
Yep, I think yeah, the person that's on the last step of the podium at the moment is in third place is Terho, I believe. So yeah, it's still all to play for in GT. I think as always in GT, I think it'll go right down. It'll go right down to the last lap.
I imagine it's going to be quite high fuel consumption around this circuit. I'm not 100% sure. I guess through that boot part of the circuit, I guess you're not using too much fuel. But around this part, you got a hefty little. Yeah, you got quite a bit of full throttle around this part of the circuit. Certainly in the NASCAR circuit. You certainly do. Oh, Albert just about makes his way through. Very nicely done there. By the way, he is, gosh, 15 seconds behind Patrick Wolf. Has he had a poor lap or something? Because that gap has really increased since the last time we looked. Yeah, he had a couple of slower laps. He had a, considering that he's the majority of the time in the 27s, he had a 30 and a 32. So he must have got very caught up in traffic. But right now, making it space streamlined currently through the GTEs.
Yeah, I think Albert just got held up in GT traffic a little bit. I think it was nothing major. It was just a case of being caught by GT cars when lapping them and just lost some time. But yeah, he's managing to get through these GT cars in the final sector with no problem so far. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if he could be on the same pace as Paddy in clear air.
Should just say, Joseph Ringrose. Actually, I thought you got up. Where is Joseph Ringrose actually? I'm not quite sure. Still in 7th place. Well, he's up 2 places. On my screen, he was showing 4th, so I think he's done very well. So yeah, Albert into the pits. So too, Riblote. So like I said, fuel consumption potentially quite high around this circuit. And therefore, they're pitting on the halfway mark. So hopefully won't have to do any fuel saving. They've got 30 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anyone else in the pits. I can't see anyone in the pits at the moment. So it's just these two guys at the moment that's decided to pit at the halfway mark. So I think yeah, I'll be interested to see when Paddy Wolf pits.
Wouldn't be surprised if maybe they're pitting now just to avoid that GTE traffic. Feeling that you may as well pit whilst you're about to approach that GTE, so get a bit of clear out. Could well be a clever strategy, but that LMP1 field very spread out currently, unfortunately, so we're not going to see too many great battles. Seemingly, we're seeing a great battle currently between Lebowska and Labartzi, though. They're 6 seconds off the lead, but you can see Labartzi, I think, just backing off there, maybe saving a little bit of fuel, I'm not quite sure, using quite a bit of time down that straight, and Lebowska is hanging on for now, but Labartzi puts his nose on the inside, he gets close on corner entry, loses a little bit through the corner though, as they head onto the boot section, and well, this is an absolutely superb part, this is a superb battle currently, really should go down to the final stages. Do you think maybe Labartzi's just going to wait till the pit stops around, maybe try to get the overcut?
It's quite possible. I mean, I think if this is a different Labate, he would have been trying to get by as quickly as possible. But I think in this case now he's just being sensible and not doing anything too risky. I think he's more than happy maybe just to sit behind Lavoska and just save some fuel possibly. But I'll be interested to see if the Labate decides to dive into the pits. Nope, he keeps going.
Sorry, I think the Man and Ringrose into the pits. I think the HPDs should be able to go potentially another 10 minutes. I think it'll probably be more like 5 minutes. Labate giving it his all around that first corner. Of course, 17 instant limit. Shouldn't be too much of an issue around this circuit. You just kind of dip your wheels onto the grass occasionally. That's really as bad as it gets. You can just see he must be in a low fuel mode or something, or maybe, as we've seen from Johan Hart in the past, running very high downforce and not allowing him to go for the move. You can really change up the setups, I guess, around this circuit run. High downforce can work around this part of the circuit, but the low downforce, absolutely lethal down the pit straight and the back straight.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say as well. I guess some of these HPD drivers will be maybe using the low downforce because being on the straight most of the time. So yeah, I think in a way also Labate. I think I'm just watching him now. He doesn't look like the type of driver. Or his wheel on puts doesn't look like he wants to try and get by as quickly as possible. He's just more than happy to sit behind and fuel, use a slipstream and fuel save, as Lavoska got a little bit sketchy on the exit there.
Yeah, can we just go on board with Kyle Labate, see what his straight line speed is like? I don't think we can. No, we can't see any fuel modes. Actually, that would be cool. But you do have lots of options. I think you have something like 12 choices in the HPD in terms of engine or fuel settings.
Yep, HPD leader Johan Harf is in the pits.
It's quite early for Harf, but we have seen him do that in the past. Also Bonden as well. So can Labate keep up down this straight? No, he's losing time, isn't he, with the slipstream, despite the slipstream. And wow, losing a lot of time. So he must be either running a super high downforce setup or saving fuel. I think the latter is probably more probable.
Yeah, it was just... Excuse me, I thought I was going to cough there. Yeah, my apologies.
That's horrendous when you don't cough when you think you're going to cough. Absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I think it's good thinking by Labate. I mean, yeah, as you say, Sam, he might be using a high downforce setting, so he'll be losing out in a straight line a little bit, but in the corners he can catch back up. So yeah, plus in a way it could be saving fuel, which is not always a bad thing around a track like Watkins Glen, and with it being such a long track.
Now losing a little bit of time in traffic. Maybe that's why Hart pitted, just to avoid this little bit of traffic, because Labate is not going to give his rival an inch. Very close now between the two of them, and is Labate just going to use a little bit more fuel because he's absolutely on the tail of his opponent. Maybe just losing a little bit of time as we see the LMP1 go past the pair of them. Should go past the pair of them. Labate is so close. If he wanted to go for the move, he really could launch an attack. But he just seems so happy to stay behind, as Ryan was saying. Most likely just fuel saving, or maybe very high downforce. If anyone knows, maybe Carlo's got some teammates, give away his strategy and tell us for everyone to know. We would super appreciate it. Once again, Labate staying back. We have paid attention to this battle for a while. We should go back to the GTEs, I think, for a while. Okay, Kashibe still leading the way there, ahead of Thibaut Kazorbon. And there's Anti-Turho. Top the base spread out. However, Shordakis getting back close to Turho, and Stabe closing in on them ever so slightly. He's within 2 seconds of these guys now. So still this GTE battle for the final step on the podium. Really, really entertaining.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, Jordakis has managed to close the gap. They close right up there, or close that gap right down to Terho, and yeah, not far behind these guys is Dominant Stabe. So yeah, I think we could be on for a freeway fight for a step on the podium. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, definitely. Dylan Mann is in this. We haven't paid much attention to him, and I think he'll probably be listening along. That's what he usually does. He's doing very well, actually. Yeah, up in 5th place. He's up 2 positions from his start, but pretty much by himself. Actually, let's go back to the MP ones because all the pit stops, I believe, have now been completed, so we can pretty much go through the order. Patrick Wolf is leading by a healthy margin, about 20 seconds over Julia Pro-Albert, and then behind that is Julien Ribelet in 3rd. Then it's Carla used to be a further 7 seconds back. Then it's Dylan Mann, Erwin Woodster, Sylvain Moraine, and Joseph Ringrose. But like I said, very spread out amongst those drivers, unfortunately. Also got Nathan Lewis as well, just on the back of that field as well.
Yeah, I believe looking at the livery, I believe that is. Looks like he's driving for a very own Marco Barbanera's team.
Who was that?
Nathan Lewis. I think he's driving a Barbanera racing livery. So yeah, looks like he's a team member for our very own Apex Racing TV colleague, Mr. Marco Barbanera.
Yes, our best Italian commentator is Marco Barbanera. And yeah, he's well, if Nathan is his driver, then he's doing a sterling job once again, 6th place. And he's only 4 seconds behind Joseph Ringrose. Also got a little bit interesting now, Woodster versus Moraine, down to 1.5 seconds between the pair of them. So Moraine on that last lap was 1/10 faster. On this lap, we'll compare lap time. So Woodster does a 30.18, Moraine 28.78, significantly faster. So yeah, is making up good time currently. It was Sylvain, and it's very much possible for him to get that 4th position.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, just looking to see. Just looking back in the HSBD class as well at the moment, as yeah, HSBD leader Carlos Baneri is just pitted, so I believe that'll hand the lead back to Johan Harf.
Yep, well, I think it will stay till the end of this race as long as everything goes according to plan. Also got Labartzi and Lavoska actually pitted, which I did not notice. Labartzi had a longer pit stop, which is very odd, because we think he was fuel saving all that time. So I don't know what that's about, because he's now 1.3 seconds behind, so maybe he is just on high downforce. Who knows? Apart from him, most likely. 1 second between the pair of them, though. And yeah, look, Barty's got to make up that gap and got to get it done on track if he's going to get 2nd place in this race this evening.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just looking back in the GT class at the moment as well. As yeah, it's still Kasubi leading by quite a comfortable margin. Yeah, Kazubon's in 2nd. Kazubon's a bit on his own as well. Just looking to see if there's any other battles as well apart from the normal guys up at the front.
Rodriguez and Fontalba are quite close, I believe, along with Sirica. At least my timing screen is showing them quite close. Whereabouts are they? Oh, in fact, they were in the pits. That's why they were so close. So Fontalba coming out of the pits. So yeah, this is pit territory then. Quite early for the GTEs. Usually, pretty much all of them go to the 45-minute mark, but today, only about 40 minutes completed for some of these drivers. Fontalba's back out of the pits. He is currently the leader of the drivers who have pitted, ahead of Thomas Gibson.
Yep. Yeah, just I think I heard a car spinning, or it might have just been. No, I thought I heard a car spinning, but no, it was nothing to worry about. Yeah, just I think this battle between Terho and Jordakis is probably the closest battle in GT at the moment for a third place in class.
And Dominic Stabe looming in the distance because, well, he just can't seem to get within 1.6 seconds, unfortunately. He just get a little bit closer, Dominic, you know? We want this to be a good three-way battle. He's going to struggle to pass both of them, of course, in the, ever, really, because it's so difficult to overtake around this circuit, seemingly. You can see how Shodakis has been close to Turho pretty much for about half an hour now. And from what I've seen, at least hasn't come close to an overtake. It's really is difficult. And, well, they're in the same car, both in the Ford. Maybe isn't helping too much, hasn't really got an advantage over any part of the circuit. And going into the chicane once again, can only really pressure his opponent. Hope that he makes a mistake.
Yep, there's just looking at the backup of the LMP1 class, at the moment to see if there's anything happening. Paddy Wolf is just coming through the GT traffic at the moment. As he's just about to go past his battle in the GT for a third place in the GT class. Both third and fourth place cars, I should say. Yeah, get your words right, Ryan. Paddy's just in a landed. Paddy Wolf is just in a land of his own at the moment, and I think if he keeps going at the moment, he might have this win in the bag. But I don't want to jinx him after what happened to As Leon last week at Circuit of the Americas in the last few minutes.
Absolutely, that was heartbreaking to watch Owen driving so well, and crashed with about 5 corners to go. There is a video of that on our Facebook page, and of course, if you haven't already liked our Facebook page, certainly do, because we do some extra videos and whatnot on there, and you can keep up to date with all our results as well. So certainly worth doing so. And of course, if you haven't already, give this video a like. I think we're on 14 likes at the moment, so very much appreciated. And thanks for all tuning in. We've been maintaining about 70 watching for this entire broadcast, so very good to see. Kyle Labarthe, he needs to get the move done because he's not going to be able to get the pit stops. He is just running too much downforce. That is the issue for Kyle Labarthe, because you can see he can't keep up down the straight.
Yeah,
he's right in the depths of the slipstream, and he's got absolutely no chance into the chicane.
Yeah, I'm just... Ooh, as Lavoska gets sideways through the chicane. Well held. Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like, as you say, Sam, Lavoska is just... No, not Lavoska, Labarthe, rather, is carrying too much downforce, and the Lavoska's using lower downforce, which is helping in a straight line as they're coming up to lap GT traffic. So this could give Labarthe a possible chance of trying to get by or close up at least.
Yeah, he can get close, but he's just constantly losing time down the straights, isn't he? So it must be so difficult. This is his best chance, I think. Just a complete dive into one of these corners, because he's so quick through the corners. You can just see how every corner, and remember, there's lots of aero weight. Oh, there's nearly contact there. I don't know if that's a little bit of afters after an incident earlier on, just about making both their way through. And a couple more GTEs into the pits as we've got Labarthe. He can pull alongside, but can he stay alongside? No, he's having to duck back into the slipstream, and once we get out of this corner, he's guaranteed to lose a whole heap of space.
Labarthe got a brilliant exit on the exit of turn 1. He just needs to try and stick with Lavoska through these fast S's and see if he can try and stick with him. But again, it's just Lavoska pulls away ever so slightly due to Lavoska pulls away ever so slightly due to the lower downforce.
But now maybe into this next one. He's going to go down the inside is Labarthe. Lavoska is wide, and he may have just thrown away a podium position. Oh, there's nearly contact between the two of them as a GTE goes through as well. But there we go. Lavoska has lost the position. That was very nicely done for Labarthe. He had to get it done in a situation like that. And now, well, he's got to absolutely sprint away because, well, the chicane on the next lap could be very worrying for him.
Yeah, that was a very good opportunistic move by Carlo Labarthe, and Lavoska ran just a little bit wide, and yeah, it gave Labate a chance to sneak up the inside and make the move, and yeah, Labate is slowly but surely pulling away now.
Up to 0.6 of a second the gap. He's going to lose a whole heap of time though after we exit this corner, so it's worth keeping an eye on, because with the slipstream as well, guaranteed that Lavoska is going to be able to get back onto the gearbox of that Honda car. Do turn 1, needs an absolutely superb exit, the pair of them. And if he can just stay close to Lavoska to the end of this race, he might just be able to extract an error out of the Italian.
Yep, just looking now, still looking at this battle between these two guys. Yeah, it looks like Lavoska's closing up. Lavoska's going for the move.
He was 7/10 behind coming out of turn 1, and by the chicane he was already onto the back of him. It's all about staying close to this part of the circuit, because if you can get within probably half a second coming out of turn 1, Labate I think is just a sitting duck.
Yeah, I think if I was Labate, I would try and get a shift on and try and get away as quickly as possible. But this is the trouble. Labate's on high downforce, or more downforce at least, and Lavoska's on less downforce. So, yeah, at the moment, Lavoska is in a way it's advantage Lavoska.
Both not really losing out from the traffic too much. We've got 12 minutes to go in this race, the penultimate round of the iRacing Le Mans Series Season 4. Of course, next season it should stay pretty much the same. There's rumours of a new car coming, or something in the works, whatever they said. We don't know what it is. It could be a P2 maybe. Who knows, could be a new GTE. Consensus seems to be it's probably going to be a single seater of some kind. If you have any opinions on the matter, please let us know on the YouTube chat. And yeah, get a little bit of discussion going about what's going to happen in Season 4. Looks as though we're going to get day to night though, and you can times it by 8. So you can times the effects up by 8. Now what I would like to see, Ryan, more than anything in the world, is hour-long races. Times it by 8. Starts it at, what, 4 o'clock? It would end at, if my maths is correct, midnight. That would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh,
like, afternoon to night session. That, honestly, amazing.
Oh, that would be absolutely awesome. The thing I would love on iRacing as well, even though it's probably a long way down the list of things for iRacing to make, what I would love is a changeable weather conditions. So say for example you start in the dry, and then halfway, say if you're doing a 24-hour race, but at the Le Mans for example, it starts raining down the straight, and it just, yeah, that would make my day.
Absolutely, they're working on it, but it's a long way away from actually being implemented. If I had to bet on it, and I have absolutely no authority to even talk about it really, but probably something like 2020 most likely will be when it could be released, but just for it to be in the works is absolutely fantastic.
Yep, there's this battle in the HPD class between Labate and Lavoska still won't settle down. I mean, Lavoska's just closing right up on Labate on the straights, and I think if he could stick with Labate, he could close right up to him, heading down to the chicane. Is it? Yeah, Lavoska's got a brilliant run. Is he going to try and make a move? Ooh. Whoa.
Every time he gets so close, oh, he might be able to have a go on the inside here, try to do what his rival did to him a few laps ago, but this doesn't matter really. All he has to do is get within about half a second come turn 1, and he should be straight through, because well, the Labate's got absolutely no chance. So staying this close to this part of the circuit is very good. A little bit of a puff of smoke. Maybe we've had a spin around this part of the circuit, clearly been cleared by now. This is a fantastic battle. We've been paying attention to it for quite a lot of this race, but it's been absolutely superb to watch. Yeah,
this battle between these two guys is absolutely awesome. I mean, this is always Lavoska goes a little bit wide on the grass. Yeah, Labate's all over the back of the Lavoska. He's absolutely hounding him.
Could this be the change of position once again?
It was yeah, they've got a P1 car coming up to lap them as well. Who is that? That is, looks like Mr. Looks like, no, I was going to say it looks like Joseph Ringrose, but it's Nath. No, I have no idea who it is. My lifetime in this
Man,
Dylan Man, that's it.
Them. So it doesn't really make too much of an impact. And you can see Lavoska very comfortable, looking as though second place is coming his way. They're 14 seconds ahead of Benedict, by the way, with 8 minutes to go. So pretty much the only battle in the HPTs. One of the only battles out on circuit, unfortunately. Haven't seen that many great kind of duels today, but that one certainly is made up for maybe the lack of others around the circuit. In the GTEs, of course, Keikoshube gap is about 3 seconds. It's been 3 seconds for such a long period of time over Tibok Kazorba. And they've driven away from the rest of the field, 10-second splits, second and third, and Saturho occupying that third position. Still ahead of Giannis Shodakis, apologies, 0.8 of a second. Been 0.8 of a second for pretty much the entire race. Just has not been able to attack. Dominic Sabe is still 1.6 seconds behind. That's no news. It's been like that for, again, about half an hour. And then behind that is Bauti Alander. He seems to have made his way through the field very efficiently, actually. Yeah, got ahead of Bradley Haley, I think, earlier on. And then it's Javier Rabot, Daniel Cruz, and Moreno Sirica, with Thomas Gibson actually very close to his rival. And I think may have just gone for an overtake. Not quite sure. Yeah, he's just got ahead of Sirica, actually. So up into, I think that's 11th position.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm still keeping my eyes on this battle between Lavoska and Labate, and just I think this battle between these two guys is going to go down to the last lap. Yeah, it's just the same case as it was before when Lavoska was in front of Labate. It's just Lavoska can pull away in a straight line just because he's got lower downforce, and in a way I think it's starting to, I could just say I'm watching Labate now and he's getting slick. Oh, as Labate runs wide, it was just about to bring me on to my point. I think he's getting a bit frustrated now sitting behind him.
Yeah, I can imagine. Already made the move once. He's going to have to make it twice, and the first move was pretty good. But yeah, got re-overtaken, and yeah, now sitting in third position. And really is just helpless. Got to rely on maybe a lapse of concentration from Lavoska. Here comes Sirica once again. He got overtaken by Gibson on the last lap. Will he be able to come back at his rival? He's going to look to the inside here, into the chicane, swap the other way. And he's not going to be able to pull it off, unfortunately. It was a good effort, but yeah, so narrow, this circuit, it's really difficult to make that move because you're going into that chicane at such a acute angle.
Yeah, I think Sirica was trying to go round the outside into the chicane, but yeah, that would never ever work because I was going to say Rodriguez is right behind Sirica, but it's another GT car lapping Sirica. Yeah, it's all starting to spice up in the final few minutes.
Cruz is really close to Rabot on that last lap. He was 0.8 faster than Javier. And now it's Porsche versus Ford. Cruz really quick through this part of the circuit, seemingly, because he's all over the back of his rival. Can look to the inside. No, his rival taking a slightly earlier apex, really cutting off any means of overtaking. But they are right in the slipstream now, seemingly going to go right down to the wire here. If Cruz can't get it done right away. 4.5 minutes of this race to go. And it really has come alive in recent minutes. Daniel Cruz, can he find a way through? He's nearly into the rear of his rival. But once he just needs to try to line this one up. Is it going to be into the chicane his best opportunity, you think, Brian? Or is he going to have to get it done someplace else because we've seen so few overtakes at the chicane today?
I think it might be the chicane might be his best chances. I think Cruz is going up the inside for the move, I think.
Yeah, it's a poor exit from a bot from the final corner, nearly binned the car. Let's see if he can respond into the chicane. He's going to need to hope that the chicane is a viable option now, because his mistake has cost him a position potentially. He looks to the outside, but maybe the inside is going to be the only way through. They're almost making contact down the straight. Now, can Cruz defend on the inside of the bot? Pulls ahead, his nose just then. He's going to try to go around the outside, but he had the ideal line, did the bots, and in the end, the two of them become a little bit attached as the bot falls offline.
Yep, I think just watching this battle again with Lavoska and Labate, and I think it's starting to Lavoska's by managing to use the GT traffic to his advantage and try and build up a little bit of a gap in these final 1 or 2 laps, I believe, I believe as soon as Paddy Wolf crosses the line, that'll be the final lap, I think, or one or...
No, I think we've got 2 more to go. It's quite a quick lap, of course. 1 minute 26 is the fastest lap of the day. Only driver in the 1 minute 26 actually is Paddy Wolf. I mean, absolutely perfect from him. Unfortunately, we haven't paid too much attention to him. He is 50 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Absolute domination.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts.
I think it's, or is it 50 seconds? My screen, I think, is glitching out slightly. It's 34 seconds. It's still quite a hefty gap. It was 50 seconds to Julien Ribelet in 3rd place, but still, whichever way you look at it, Paddy Wolf, Patrick Wolf, 50 seconds, 35 seconds, it doesn't make a difference, because it looks like it's going to be on course for another race victory.
Yep, Lavoska's managed to build a bit of a gap to Labate, so I think this battle in the HBE class for 2nd place could be over.
I think so. That might just be curtains between the pair of them. Just about pulling ahead is Antti. Clearly has must be a better setup, you'd think. Because Hart is struggling. Sorry, not Hart. Labate is struggling so much down the straights. Terho coming under increasing pressure from Shordakis. I think the traffic has just closed the gap between these two, 0.3 of a second. He's got used to that back end of the fall. I reckon he could paint a pretty good portrait of it without even looking at it now. Because he's looked at it for a while, and now he's only got this lap and 1 more to get the move done.
Yeah, just looking to see if there's anything else going on now. I can't find any other battles. I think it's just it seems to be spread out now.
Yeah, it really does. Maybe... Oh, you know what? Labate's got back onto the back of Lavoska. Half a second between the pair of them now. So, well, this one deserves another twist, because it's been absolutely fantastic. 0.7 of a second between the pair of them. Labate has got to have the lap of his life. He's got this one and 1 more to get it done. Patrick Wolf, in fact, actually is on his last lap already. Apologies, got that all wrong. He's on his last lap. He's only got 10 seconds to go. And he's got pretty much the final third of the lap to complete. So this is it for Labate. He's got to get it done in these next few corners. But I think we're going to have to turn our attention to the overall race leader, Patrick Wolf, who's been absolutely dominating today. He's 36 seconds clear of the rest of the field now. And I think that's Johan Hart, actually. By him. Yes, it is. So we're going to see the LMP1 and LMP2 leaders come across the line together. Hart has also absolutely dominated. 2 superb performances today from the pair of them. Patrick Wolf wins the P1 class. Johan Hart wins the P2 class. Brilliant drives from both of them. Keikoshiba, he's still got a while to go. He's still got another lap to go. It seems as though Lavoska is going to hold off Labate. Yes, he is. It was well earned as well. Fantastic dueling between the pair of them.
Yeah, that was a fantastic battle in the HPD class between Lavoska and Labate. That was a...
Oh, into the wall. And I think that was a replay. No, that was live. Sorry. Terry Taylor into the wall. and that was Maria Holweck as well getting involved.
Yeah, I'm just watching the replay of Taylor. Yeah, just to see what happened. Oh, he just got clipped and yeah, he got squeezed on the grass.
Just seeing a replay of it now on the broadcast. Taylor had a fantastic slipstream, got right behind, looked to the inside. There was only grass on the inside though. There was no tarmac there. It was a bit of an unwise decision. Absolutely desperate to get the move done. Clearly felt the outside wasn't going to be possible to make move. I don't think they've lost any time or lost any positions from it. So they will cross the line in their respective positions. Craig Kashibe's respective position is going to be first, and he's very much got used to that position. The number 1 driver, number 1 car at least. And he's going to cross the line first as well. I mean, 2.5 seconds ahead of T-Bot Kazorban. But the important thing is, Kashibe is going to win here at Watkins Glen, week 11 of the iRacing Le Mans Series. Kazorban did awesomely, absolutely fantastically to push him all the way. Fantastic battling between the pair of them, even though they were never really close on circuit. Super high intensity and fantastic quality of driving. I think that is everyone across the line. So we can go through the final results. And it's Patrick Gore winning the race by 35 seconds over Juliet Pro-Albert in 3rd position. Julien Ribelow just about held off Carlo Yusubi in the closing stage. It got really close between the pair of them on that last lap. Only 8/10 of a second in the end. Dylan Mann, a distant 5th in the end, with Sylvain Moraine a lap down. So to Joseph Ringrose, Nathan Lewis, and Erwin Woodstra. In the HPDs, Johan Hart absolutely dominated ahead of Anthony Labosco. You had to overtake Carlo Barty late on for that 2nd place. Carles Alvarez Benedi very much ran his own race in 4th. Then is Nicholas Nigel, Heinz Braun in 6th. Then is Gabriel Garcia Oliveras, Maria Holweck and Terry Taylor came together right at the close, and it was Daniel Bratzler rounding out that HPD field. By the way, it was Bonden and Frick getting involved in incidents there. In the GTEs, Keika Shube didn't dominate. Apologies, that would be offensive to Tivot Kazorban because he pushed him all the way, only 2.5 seconds between the pair of them at the close. Antti Terho finished in 3rd. Then Gianni Shodakis in 4th. And Dominic Stabe, good 3-way battle between the pair. Then Stabe had to make his way up through the field after a poor start. Behind that was Valtteri Alander, Bradley Haley, Daniel Cruz, Javier Rabot, Thomas Gibson after a spin early on, Moreno Sirica, Cyril Rodriguez, Lucas Chris, Bruno Fontalba, and Gianni Becchi, and Jack Sedgwick as well. We have got some interviews with drivers. I think first driver we will talk to is our co-commentator Joseph Ringrose. And Joe, great to see you out on circuit today. How long have you been driving the P1 and how was your day today?
Yeah, I've been driving the P1 for quite a while now, to be fair. Just never really started driving it a lot recently since Monza. Had an okay day. I was a bit off pace, wasn't really up there, and just had a relatively clean race. First of all, I'd just like to apologise to Jack Sedgwick for having a little incident with him. I've spoken to him, but yeah, I just thought I'd make a little apology before.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't actually see that incident, but yeah, we'll just take us through it.
Yeah, so there was a lot of traffic. I think this is like the 2nd time coming through the GTE pack, and yeah, just going up the hill, battling with 2 other P1s. Jack just confused me where he was going a bit, and I accidentally tapped him into the rear end and he spun into the wall. I'll take responsibility for that one because, you know, he couldn't really do anything, and I hit him. So again, I apologise to Jack for that.
And overall today, how was kind of the traffic management? It's a bit of a thin circuit this, so I imagine it could have been quite difficult. We saw a few incidents, but yeah, how did you find it?
Yeah, me and Dylan have been doing a couple of races together this week, and yeah, we really found the traffic is quite bad running compared to a lot of other circuits. Obviously, as you said, quite narrow, and with 41 cars going around the track, it can get quite tough. We managed it pretty well overall. We didn't think it was too bad in the end, but you know, obviously there's always going to be a few questionable moves by some GTEs and LMP2s, but you know, that's part of being an LMP1 driver.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to adapt to those other drivers. One more week to go. Do you know what circuit it is?
Nürburgring GP.
Ooh, okay. How are your feelings towards that?
Pretty good track. I mean, apart from the first sort of Sadim section, I think it's a really good track overall. We'll probably see maybe a couple of Audis up there, and obviously all the SCO drivers out there, so you probably won't see me in that field. But yeah, Nürburgring's a good track, and I'll be looking to gain some R rating throughout next week.
Yeah, definitely. And final words, just what are you planning on doing for Season 1? I know you've previously raced the Formula Vene. Formula 3 tempt you at all?
I'll see what comes. Me and Dylan will be racing in the ESSA Endurance Championship coming up in the LMP1, so got that to look forward to over the start of 2019, and obviously the Daytona and whatnot. F3 is quite tempting, but Tyler said there's something coming, so I'll hold my cards where I am, and I'll see what happens and what gets announced in the coming weeks.
Yes, absolutely. We're all very excited about that. Before we let you go, Jay, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, obviously the team, VRT, so Ismail, Ryan, Dylan and Kevin for the setup work going into this race. Our sponsors, Boss Boxes and Next Gen. You guys for broadcasting, and yeah, that's it really.
Thanks, Jay, and hopefully we will see you soon on Apex Racing TV.
Yep, see you guys.
We'll also have a chat with Erwin Woodster. And Erwin, well done out there. You kept it nice and clean out there. It came away with a 9th place finish. Just take us through your evening.
Well, start was pretty good. Gained 2 places on the start. After that, I made some mistakes on the first lap, and but got away again from the guy. Moved up the field pretty decently in the Audi, but then LMP1 in front in the SS, I think he crashed and didn't lock his brakes. I was side by side with HPD to overtake him, couldn't go anywhere and hit him. It was kind of my race over. Went to pit lane, 20 seconds repair, and after that was just see where I can get.
Yeah, we saw that instant, and it was so unlucky for you because, you know, it's a slightly blind corner as well. You had absolutely no chance to avoid. Unfortunately, that driver couldn't escape before you arrived on the scene. But yeah, have you been riding the P1? How long have you been driving? And kind of have you? Do you feel as though you've kind of got the battery saving element to it kind of sorted by now?
I've been driving the car this entire season and the half of the season in front. I find I am used to the battery right now. Still think there's more to gain out of it, but right now it's just Porsche is quicker, but doesn't suit my driving style.
Right, yeah, hopefully we'll see a BOP change. Do you know if there's a BOP change on the horizon for the P1s?
I don't. I hope there is. I hope the Audi can go longer on the fuel.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
like less fuel on pit stop, but you know, it should go longer in the stint, which is not right now.
Yeah, how was the fuel today? Because usually we see in the LMP1s relatively marginal fuel. Usually you guys can only do about 33, 34 minutes of fuel. Was that in the back of your mind at all?
Well, I did a race before this and I realized I had taken too much fuel, which was kind of interesting because I didn't take a lot. So the Audi, yeah, it's good on fuel. You do gain a lot of time here with pit stop, probably like 10 seconds, but you lose all of it on track. You have to make the move on track, and with the Audi it's also you need to run less downforce than the Porsche to keep up with them in the straight line.
Yes, hopefully we will see some balance of performance because, yeah, we could see 2 competitive LMP1 cars next season. That would be absolutely superb. Before we let you go, Owen, anyone you'd like to thank?
Dylan, Iron Man, for moral support and helping me before the race as well.
Thanks, Owen, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yep. Bye.
Well, I think that pretty much rounds us off for today. Of course, one more week 12 of the season, and as previously mentioned, it'll be Nürburgring GP. A bit of a Marmite track. Well, I say it's a Marmite track. A lot of people dislike it. Not many people like it. Anyway, yeah, certainly do tune in for that. Regardless, will be very good fun indeed, and of course, we'll be able to finally put to bed some of those championships as well, which are really quite intriguing and very close with one round of the season to go. Of course, tomorrow we've got the BSRTC Pro Series. I think that's the penultimate round of the season, so very important. Do tune in for that. And then on Saturday, we've got the finale of the Euro V8 Supercar Series. Personally, one I'm very much looking forward to. Championship is still open in that. And then on Sunday, we'll have the BSR Simultal Porsche Cup. And of course, yeah, next Wednesday, we'll be back with us. Same time, of course, for the final round of the championship in the iRacing Le Mans Series. But for now, from me, from Ryan, and from Sam, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.